Hey guys, this is Lisa, One Happy Place Creations, and I am going to show you today. I've got zipper on my Etsy shop. It's Paper, Lace, and Bling. It's got both sides and it's hooked together. I've unhooked it and I've made a zipper flower. Really quick, easy zipper flower. There's lots of different ones that you can do, but this is one that I'm going to be using on a project. So I just thought I'd take a second to show you how to do it. So you're going to need the hot glue gun, tweezers, circle punch. This is a 1 3/8 inch circle, and some zipper. Okay, so I want to make one that's probably a little smaller than this one this time, but or for myself, but I will just show you how I made this one. So I'm going to go in and first cut. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was in the shot. Cut just at the beginning. If they're larger, it really doesn't make any difference. These are, yeah, 3/8 of an inch, I guess. But I'm cutting almost all the way up into the zipper area. I'm trying not to damage my scissors any, but you don't, obviously you don't want to cut off the zipper, because then that would kind of defeat the purpose. But as you get further on, cut it back to just 1/4 of an inch little flaps that you're cutting. And that will become apparent as you start winding this around, that it's just easier to maneuver. I had to make this one, I'd say it was approximately 10 inches long, but yeah, usually I just keep going until I'm ready to cut it off. So I like to start with a longer one just in case I didn't do it just right. Because on the zipper ones, unlike some of the other types of flowers that like t-shirt flowers and things like that, I can kind of piecemeal it together. But the zipper ones, it would kind of be noticeable if they didn't, if it wasn't continuous. This one would be one that you would want it to be continuous. So let's see, I've got 12 inches here. I'm just going to do it a little bit longer. And I've gotten a little smaller again, not much more than 1/4 of an inch, because that's just kind of, I think, just overkill. I got to have something to be able to grab onto, and again, I'm just trying to make sure I don't ruin my scissors or cut this thing in half. So that's about 13 inches. I'm sure that's going to be enough. If I find it's not, I will. That's actually about 15 inches now, so I'm sure that's plenty. So, done with the scissors. Set those off to the sides. Pretty much now, all you need is your hot glue, your zipper, and you'll need these in a few minutes. So just like all of the other flowers I mean, if you don't know how to make them, then this will be new. If you do know how to make some of the flowers, then this maybe you've not ever tried to make one with a zipper. So basically, I am just kind of slightly overlapping, because what I'm looking for is this to be facing up. So this just slightly overlapped. I just kind of went like this and like this, and you see how that comes up? Let's see if I can get a little closer. So I went this. I'm not trying to get it up all in one. And then this. And you see how that's raising the zipper to want to stand up. Because basically, that's what I was looking for is, you know, a coiled, raised up zipper. That's what I was looking for in this one. There are so many ways of doing this, but that's what I wanted was just this bit of zipper just standing up straight. The rest of it is laying flat. Okay, so moving on, you're gonna flip back the part that's not hooked on glue, and I don't know why all of a sudden I have no cord to, my glue gun's fighting me. All right, here we go. Wah! The Fighting Craft glue gun. All right, so again, just gonna put some more hot glue. Don't do too much because you can't work extremely fast on this. And again, I'm just looking to keep that raised up. And you can see I'm just overlapping it a little bit. If, like this one got hooked down onto some of the hot glue, just pick it back up off of it again. It's you know, when it's still warm. And if you want to, you can try and pull that off. I try and keep these as thin as possible so that it lays down nicely. These are quick and easy. Okay, again, we're just going to lift and cross over, staying to the outside of the circle. And maybe I ought to, I'm gluing my finger down. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit more. All right, now I'm sorry if I go out of film. I'm not used to, I'll try and keep my elbows right in the same spot. I'm not used to working in this tight a frame. Okay, so I'm going to pull the unglued parts back. This is a little bit of leftover glue from the last time. I'm going to see if I can pull it off without making much. Okay, then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. Okay, then I'm going to lift this piece up and overlap. Lift 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 and overlap. And that didn't catch, so that's fine. So as you can see, it actually looks almost like a little plate. The glue, the zipper is standing up, but everything else is nice and flat. Make sure I'm still staying in focus. I'm sorry if I went out of film, I was busy. So we'll try this again. I'll try and make notice. I think this was left over from there. Okay, so pull the piece that's not on there back, and I'm going to bring the glue around to there, and I'm going to lift and just keep bringing it around. That one didn't really get cut very well. Keep bringing it around until I meet up with where I began. Okay, so there it is. That's the first row. It looks pretty. I mean, you could, if you had a amulet or something to fit down inside there, that would make a gorgeous piece. If you cut it off right at the beginning and glued it down together, you could probably fill that up with, put a nice piece of paper in there with different colors, you know, a pattern, a picture, or whatever, and then maybe put Diamond Glaze, Crystal Effects, whatever, 3D, what was that stuff called? 3D Crystal Lacquer, any of that stuff in there, and make yourself a charm. And of course you can do it much smaller as well, but we are going to continue on. So I'm going to pull this up so the pieces that are not glued down yet are away from where I'm going to put my glue. And I'm going to put my glue, I'm going to bring it down here to the edge of the last grouping. And I'm going to figure out where I want to have it come in at. I don't want it to be too far away, but I don't want it to be too close either. I kind of like having it spiral in from this point, because it is, I mean, it's a zipper and it kind of looks like it spirals in. I think it looks pretty cool that way. I mean, that's literally what you're doing, is spiraling in. So but you don't want to get it too far away either, because then you're going to have, I probably got it a little further away than I liked in a few spots, but I still think they're just stinking darling, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. And actually letting the glue build up on this finger will keep it from getting too hot. Again, we're going to follow back around here with the glue. I didn't check to make sure I was in camera. And we're going to lift it. Lift each one of these. And this is another reason why it's that you want the smaller flaps as you got inland, inward of your circle, because it's just much more easy to maneuver with. As you get towards the inside, your fingers are too big, so that's why I have this. Again, we're going to pull this and just keep following our line around. This also helps just keep it from pulling away or anything. So we're just going to keep spiraling this in. Not too fast. You kind of allow the last row to tell you where to go, because like now I'm starting to get to my beginning point again, so I know I'm going to start on my next inner spiral, just like you do with flowers. So I'm going to start pulling it in a little bit and bringing it around. So it keeps getting a bit tighter and a bit tighter. Come on. There we go. And you want to make sure you're not pulling it too far in too fast. And try and keep it, you know, keep an eye on how fast you're doing your, and again, if you need to pull it up because you feel like you've made a mistake, pull it up. The hot glue will release and allow you to do it over again. I'm sorry, I can't stand hot glue on my fingers. It just drives me nuts. Anyway, okay, we're going to continue around here. And I'm kind of staying right at the edge, if not going right on top. Make sure I'm still in focus here. And looking to see how I'm pulling versus where my zipper is still going to be. If you start twirling it too tightly, you're going to actually move the entire zipper. you're going to move all of this around too much, and you'll lose what you've already done. See, if I started pulling that around too tight, it's going to pull up on the cloth instead of allowing that zipper to lay flat down. All right, so I'm actually doing I think a better job of keeping them separated in this one than in that one, but I guess I'm, sometimes you're just doing them and not really paying attention to what you're doing. I wanted to have one to show you guys, and I thought, well, I'll just zip one out here to show you what we were doing, and so that's what happens. Okay, so again, I'm just flipping these out, covering them, bringing them around, make sure I'm still in there, bringing it around, and then trying to catch that glue. I'm crossing them, and I'm still pretty much crossing them the same amount that I was doing out here, and I think that's what's helping to keep the rows uniform. If you cross them less or cross them more is what's going to give you more of the tighter coil. All of them having different looks is all about handmade. I mean, that's just what adds character to your items. Now, I'm just going to I'm getting close to the end, and I'm just going to kind of get a feel for what's left and how I want this to work. I'm going to want to bring this around, this around, this around. So I'm going to want probably to about here. So I got a little mark. There's a little mark right there. So that's where I'm going to finish cutting. And again, I'm going to keep it smaller pieces, but I do want to try and make them where they're up close to the zipper. Where's my mark? There it is. Okay. And I'm sorry. I just cut more of my little flaps. I just cut more because I was getting to the point where I'm going to start coiling this in, and I knew I was right about here finished with the original cuts, and I knew I was going to need more space. As you get tighter and tighter, you use less and less, but I was just doing a guesstimation. I wanted to make sure I was going to have enough. So now I'm still kind of staying right at the edge of where I had put my last rows, and sometimes I'm even lifting up 2 of them versus 1 of the little flaps and kind of laying them across the glue. Okay, that one I didn't get quite over as much as I wanted. There we go. You're going to get, the closer into the center you get, the less and less you're actually able to do each time in between gluing. So I just put less and less glue because it just, and I'm just kind of now, I'm almost laying them in and letting them lay down where I want them to be, and then pushing them into the glue instead of trying to do individuals. So, am I in camera? So I get the glue down, I twist it a little bit, get my fingers under, and then lay it down and stick it into the glue, okay? see if I can pull this out of the glue area. See, now I know have no more extra space, so I'm just going to get some glue down, get my fingernail underneath those pieces, flip them around. I picked up the bottom piece that I didn't mean to pick up. And let it lay down and twirl. Okay. Lay down and twirl. And let that glue catch. Okay, so now I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to cut this and twirl it in to where I want it. I'm thinking I'm going to put a bead or pearl or something in the center, but I may not. So I want it to lay down. Drives me nuts. I want it to lay down as nicely as possible. So right now I'm just gonna, you just kind of catch it between two of the teeth, and I don't use good scissors. These are kind of my junk scissors, and cut it in half. It's not really doing a whole lot to the scissors, but it does a little bit. Now is when I start using my tweezers, because I want these to lay down nicely. So this is where it gets a little more tedious. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on one flap, pull it around, and lay it down. Catch it. The next flap. And you don't have to put it up by the, you just want it on the end. And lay it down. And next flap, just right on the edge, a little bit of glue. Grab it, twist it around where you want it, push it down. Grab it, twist it around, and down. And you just keep going like that until you get it to the point where you want it. You try and get as little bit of glue on there as possible. There, I got it all over the tines of the, I did not want to do that. And of course then that's going to stick, but that it'll come out. It's just easier if you don't do it. It got on the material and then onto the thing. Okay, so I'm taking the next loose one, which is right here, putting, let me make sure this is showing, putting a little bit of glue on it, taking my tweezers, holding it up, swirling this around, and gluing that down. So now I'm just about at my finishing point, and I am getting to the point where these are too long, that they're not going to lay flat in there anymore. So now I'm going to come and I'm going to trim them down a little bit. And I'm going to trim that last one there. So now I can check. I can take this and I can twirl this around. I can check and see, did I cut it? Nope. Didn't cut them enough. Make sure I'm still in camera here. So I'm going to get these even shorter. I'm getting them a little shorter here than I am here, because as I twirl, I'm not going to have much space left, okay? So I am playing with this. I'm going to see if I can actually get all of this down in here if I need to cut more out. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right. So I'm still going to do, but I'm going to do about 2 of these. Make sure I'm in. Going to do about 2 of these together. Get a little bit of glue on them, and I'm trying to get it as flat as possible. I'm going to take this, lay it around, and push it down. I'm actually taking my fingernail and kind of jabbing through all of that hot glue. And now I'm going to have to just kind of pull it around and push it in. So I'm going to put glue on the rest of my piece, making sure I get it all the way to the end. And I'm going to take the end and I'm going to lift it, swirl it, and push it down. So there's that one. So there's my 2 flowers that I made. Put them this way. And lots of fun. Very quick and easy. I'll show you something else that I did with this zipper that I'm going to have finished. I'm almost done with this book. I'm going to have it on my Etsy in the next day or so. This is just a piece of cardstock. There's going to be a cover on a book that I'm doing. I'm going to pull this back out a little bit. Oh, sorry. Wrong way. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see the edge here is zipper. How cool is that? So, and all it is a little red tape on the end of the, you know, on the zipper. I put a piece right up to and then a piece along here. And then I just put the page right over the zipper and then pulled it down. And just so that it would go right, you know, right along the edge and be a nice straight piece. And then this is going to be coming around the spine of the book and going to be on both sides. And then these flowers, or some just like it, are going to be part of the cover. So I'm trying to make it not too feminine, make it it's going to be a book about love and the enjoyment of beauty and love in life. So not really Valentine's. So anyway, that is part of this zipper that I have. I have 50 plus yards of this stuff. So I'm going to have it on my Etsy shop. And Not a Gorgeous Sign, Paper, Lace, and Bling is the name of the Etsy shop. Okay, Paper, Lace, and Bling. So go over there, look it up. follow me so that when I put new things on there, like my new book, which I will do a video all on its own, but you'll be able to see all of that, see all of the items. I go around and find items and I pass them along to you for cheap. Now my handmade items and things like that, those are, you know, priced because they're handmade. And I use only the finest quality stuff. In my books, you know, I use good glues, I use Suquine tape, I use Tyvek around all my books, and you know, good chipboard and all of that kind of stuff. So good quality stuff on my homemade, handmade items. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Thank you very much. Find your happy place and start crafting. And bye.